Well, guys, it has been brutally cold this week. Our mornings have been unseasonably cold. We have been down to about 18 degrees several mornings this week. Yesterday we didn't get out of the 40s, and today it's about 45 right now. And to me, that's very, very cold. Wanted to give you an update on what's going on in the garden and what are the gardens and what seeds we are starting. Be sure and hit that subscribe button, guys, and that like button. And be sure and leave me some comments on what you're starting now and where you're at so I know what's going on in various areas. So the little high tunnel is a little naked, guys, but it's cleaned up. And we are still battling our rodents. We have caught probably about 10 or 15. We've not caught some in a couple of nights. Don't know if that's good or bad, but that's where we're at right now. Trying to get control of them. You can see they have munched on quite a few things, but my kale continues to come back. This Swiss chard is being hit pretty heavily, but look right here. More is coming up. These freezes are kind of unseasonable. We had unseasonable warmth, and now we have unseasonable cold. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on here in Texas, North Texas, in the next month. But you can see we got quite a few tubs that I can fill with some of my seed starters. We're going to hold off a little bit because Greg is going to do a drench in these tubs. He is going to make sure that we get a hold of the aphids and any other critters or insects that may be fostering in our soil. But look, so I've got lots of tubs, guys, to plant in, and I'm getting really excited. So the sun being out today makes us want to get out, start doing some gardening, but it's just not time yet. Here's some of my spinach, and guys, look at this calendula. This calendula in my tower of power is just surviving these freezes. Now this morning it was 26 degrees in this high tunnel, and it seems to be holding up on many of my plants. My lavender is still doing well, so it's providing some shelter for some tender plants. So Greg has got this raised bed cleaned up. I can't wait to get some things in there. This is some of my celery, my kohlrabies. I have a couple of kohlrabies that I need to try to cook this week. I've used quite a bit of my cabbage. I made a cabbage soup last week. Guys, that stuff freezes really great. I did do a video on making cabbage soup with all of our fresh vegetables sometime last year. I encourage you to make that if you have some cabbage and just some vegetables around, because it is so delicious and it freezes super. So my carrots are struggling a little bit, but I did get quite a few nice size ones out of here last week to make for my soup. And my greens, my lettuce greens, they're doing just fine in here. Have some more celery, and I have a beautiful magnolia tree that's going to go in the yard that one of our dear friends, Kristen, gave us, and Aaron, and so we will plant this whenever we feel it's safe. And then I've got onions. So let's come up here and look at some of my seed starts. So we got the seed starting table ready to go. We've got our heating mats underneath, and you may recall, guys, this rolls down over the front of it, so when we get real cold at night and we close it up, those heating mats are enough to keep it warm to help these seeds germinate. So what do we got going on in here? We have some imperial broccoli, we have some Fujiyama cauliflower, we have some kale, we have some bok choy, some pinto beans, some golden wax beans. Greg's trying these out. And I have some cherry tree seeds, guys. From some of the pits, from some cherries I got back in July. I took them out, washed them up real good, and put them in the freezer for 10 weeks. It was actually a lot longer than 10 weeks, but a minimum of 10 weeks. And I'm going to see what I can do with those. And then we have some green beans here. So our tomatoes and peppers are in there starting under the grow lights, and we're going to keep those in there a little bit longer and see what our weather's going to do, because we still do have some of January left and a little bit of February, or all of February left. And then March is here, guys, and things start to warm up here in Texas. Kind of wondering about that, though, because we've had such a mild winter up until this last week when we've gotten really cold and those high winds. Just kind of want to watch and see what we think is going to happen in our spring. We could have a colder spring than normal. We're very dry, no rain, no rain, no rain still. Pray for rain. We need it. So let's go check out what's in this bigger high tunnel and check on my turnips and my beets and my onions out there. So even though it's quite cold outside, it's very, very warm in here. In fact, I could come in here in shorts and a t-shirt and I'd be just fine, and toasty actually. So whenever we're working in here, we have to be careful that we don't get overheated while we're doing our planting. Let's look. So my onions are looking a little worn, but I think, guys, that they're going to be okay. Let's go down the line. I can see some that might not make it, and I have more in the small high tunnel that I can replant. So we're hoping that these are going to be just fine. If not, I'll go ahead and put some more starters in there, some more sets. So here is my turnips. They seem to be looking okay. Now the soil is drying out quite quickly in here, and I think it's because it does get so warm in the sun. So we're trying to keep these irrigated and damp and moist so that we get some good growth. So my beets are taking their time on coming up, but they're starting to. You can see here. So I really, really want my beets to come up, guys. Beets are superfoods, are one of the superfood categories, and we really enjoy them. I can them, and they turn out really great, a great shelf life. So we want our beets to come up. We're going to have to watch and see. May have to do some replanting, but I am seeing quite a few of them come up. So we think that it's not too soon to go ahead and start your tomato seeds and your pepper seeds to get ready, because used to, I could go ahead and put things in the ground at the end of March here. Easter is late this year. A lot of people will not plant until after Easter. They want to wait until after that before they go ahead and decide that they're going to put things in the ground. But since we have the high tunnels, we'll be able to put things in a little bit sooner and get a sooner harvest, and that's what we're counting on. So there's lots going on, lots to get prepared for, so much work to be done. I am back at work, as most of you know. It's going great, praise the Lord. I wanted to let you guys know that went to the grocery store last week. Of course, the cold and flu medicine aisle is just vacant, and they've been vacant for 2 weeks. There's just nothing. So thankfully, we did stock up several months back to make sure that we had our flu and cold meds. Now, my sister did go back to Australia Thursday before last, and they had to be tested before they got on the plane to head home, and they tested negative, but they got home, and shortly thereafter they did get sick, and they did get the COVID. However, they're recovering just fine. She feels like it was a mild case, so they are doing better. But interestingly enough, she said that Janine, their daughter, went to the grocery store to get them groceries before they got home to make sure they had everything they needed, and there was no meat at all over in Australia, and she ended up getting 3 pork chops was what they had that she could get for them, and they made a soup with it with lots of veggies and cabbage and stuff like that. So when I went to the store last week, I didn't really see a lot of shortages. I did see inflated prices like crazy. There was a roast that was about the size of my hand that was $6. And our gas here in Texas is now over $3, which I know a lot of you are paying more, but here in Texas we're an oil-rich state, so normally our gas prices are a little bit lower than other states. And they say it's going to get up to $4 a gallon. So things are on the rise here. Our money is not going as far as it did this time last year. We're trying to stay stocked up on firewood and propane, and we're getting ready to put that Harvest Right freeze dryer back to work. And it's going to be a very busy freeze dryer. We're also getting ready to do some more canning. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to the freeze dryer down in the description, because I know several of you are getting ready to buy. And that is our link. And yes, we are an affiliate, and we appreciate anybody that clicks on it and decides that they want to purchase. So thank you all for those of you that have already purchased and those of you that are thinking about purchasing. So you want to be vigilant. If you ever needed to grow your food ever more in history. Now is the time. You want to make sure and start you some seeds, get you a small plot, get you some containers, get you a raised bed, grow conventionally. Just do anything that you can, guys, and look for protein rich and vitamin and mineral rich things to grow in your garden. Of course, tomatoes is our favorite, and they have a lot of lycopene and some vitamin C. And peppers, of course, we enjoy those because we can preserve peppers in so many ways, and we use them in our soups and stews. But squash and zucchini is going to be coming up, guys, and so you want to try to get some of that. But grow anything you can. Your medicinal herbs are very important. The mullein tea and the holy basil that I grew in that Tower of Power last year, I freeze-dried and I made some teas out of it, and it's absolutely delicious, and it's helping us so much. And my sister enjoyed it when she was here, and I sent some to my sister-in-law in Alabama. Just absolutely delicious tea and very good for you. The mullein tea, especially for a time such as this, for your lungs, and to just help you fight off things and give you comfort and soothing. So, boy, I'm saying a whole bunch, aren't I? Just wanted to give you guys an update. Such a strange world that we live in, but we are leaning on the everlasting arms of our Lord Jesus Christ, and we are spending lots of time with Pop, and we are getting the farm ready to be in full production, guys, in just a couple of months. Grow, grow, grow. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We'll be in touch, guys. Start some seeds. Get them going, get them on order. Take care. God bless. See you soon.